We are here for the trial of Mr. Alexander T. Wolf. The state of Fairy Tale Land versus Alexander T. Wolf will now begin. Mr. Wolf has declined a defense lawyer and will be representing himself for the trial. The charges against Mr. Wolf are as follows. Murder of pig number 1 and 2. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it will be your responsibility to decide if Mr. Wolf did in fact murder the 2 pigs. District Attorney Mrs. Wood S. Mann, do you have an opening statement?
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I will show that the defendant, Alexander T. Wolf, purposely went to both pigs' houses with the intent of eating them. I will prove that the wolf was also trying to eat the 3rd pig before he was arrested. Thank you.
Does the defense have an opening statement?
Yes, I do, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I will prove that I, Alexander T. Wolf, was simply trying to bake my dear sweet grandmother a birthday cake. I was only going to borrow sugar from my neighbor. Unfortunately, I also had a bad cold. And the pigs' houses were poorly built. Then I sneezed. Their houses fell and killed those poor pigs. Then, when I'm all done, you will find me innocent on all charges. Thank you.
Mrs. Mann, you may call your first witness.
Thank you, Your Honor. For my first witness, I call Mr. Pork E. Pig. He is the brother of the 2 deceased pigs.
Oh, great.
Quiet in the court! There will be no more of that, Mr. Wolf!
Excuse me, Your Honor. It won't happen again.
Let's continue. Mr. Pig, you've been sworn in. Can you please tell us about the night that you first encountered Mr. Wolf?
Yes, I was busy cleaning my house. It looked like a real pig pen since I had just moved in. All of a sudden, I heard this loud pounding on the door and someone yelling, Mr. Pig, let me in! Well, my dear mother always taught me not to talk to strangers, so I said, please go away. Well, he continued yelling something and huffing and puffing, so I got frightened and called the police. Then I yelled up to the wolf, you better go to your granny's before you get sent to the pen. I had no idea that he had killed my dear brothers until the police came and arrested him.
Thank you, Mr. Pig. I'm sorry for your loss.
Your witness, Mr. Wolf?
Hello, Porky. My name is Porky Pig. You can call me Mr. Pig.
Excuse me, Mr. Pig. Can you please tell the court what you do for a living?
I'm the inspector of Home Builders Inc. I am in charge of making sure the homes in Fairytale Land are built properly. I'm the best in the area.
Interesting. So did you inspect your 2 brothers' homes to make sure they were built properly?
No.
Why didn't you inspect your dear brothers' homes?
My brothers and I had a complicated relationship. They were jealous of my good fortune. I was smarter than them and I had a better job. They were so lazy. They always expected me to do everything for them. Well, I wasn't helping them anymore. They were on their own this time.
That's all for my witness. Thank you, Porky Pig.
Whatever, you're a loser. I hope you and your granny sit on a pig.
Mr. Pig, don't sit down and be quiet! If you make any more distractions like that in the courtroom, you'll be sent out! Mrs. Mann, you need to control your witness.
Yes, Your Honor.
You may call your next witness.
The state rests its case, Your Honor.
Mr. Wolf, you may call your first witness.
My first witness is my dear old granny.
Granny, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
What did you say? Oh, let me turn my head. I'm a tad deaf in this ear. Now I can hear you. What did you say, Your Honor?
I said, Granny, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Well, of course, dearie.
Mr. Wolf, you may proceed.
Granny, can you state how long you have known me? Oh, dearie, my sweet little Wolfie. I've known you since the day you were born. Silly Wolfie, you have always been such a helpful wolf. I remember that one time you helped that little girl find her way to her grandmother's house. You were always thinking about this. Oh, thank you, Granny. Do you recall what happened on your last birthday? Of course I do. I just had woken up and I was looking forward to a lovely visit with my favorite grandson when my phone rang. It was my Wolfie and you were sneezing and huffing and puffing so much it was so hard to talk to you. You said you were running a little late because you ran out of sugar and had to go to a neighbor's house to borrow some. You know, Judge, my little Wolfie bakes me a birthday cake every year. He really is a great baker. He took baking lessons from that sweet old lady that lives in the woods. You know, the one with the cute little gingerbread house. Granny, can you please go back to what happened after I called you? Oh yes, dearie. So after I got off the phone, I was just sitting there waiting and waiting. I was starting to get worried that something had happened to my little Wolfie. Then I finally got the phone call from the police station saying that you were in jail. I just couldn't believe it. Oh, Granny, don't cry. It will be okay. No further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness, Mrs. Mann.
Hello, Granny. I just have a couple questions for you. Have your grandson Alexander ever been in trouble with the law before?
Let me think. Oh yeah, there was this one little incident with him wearing a lady's nightgown, but I don't think that any charges were filed. Oh, Granny.
Quiet in the court! Mr. Wolf, quiet in the courtroom! You've had your chance with the witness.
Oh, sorry, Wolfie. I was not supposed to talk about that.
Oh, that's perfect, Granny. Next question. You said Mr. Wolf was baking you a cake. What ingredients does he put in his cake?
Objection. What does it matter what ingredients go into the cake?
Your Honor, let me finish. I will show why the ingredients are relevant.
Continue, Mrs. Mann, but you better get to the point quickly.
Thank you, I will. Granny, what does Alexander put in his cakes?
Well, I don't know all the ingredients. I think he puts rabbit, sheep, eggs, and a little this and a little that.
Are you sure that's it?
Well, in some of my favorite birthday cakes, he has put a little bacon in it.
Bacon, huh? And where does bacon come from?
A pig, of course. Everybody knows that. Oh, Granny, you didn't.
Order in the court! Mr. Wolf, you have been warned!
Yes, Your Honor.
No further questions, Your Honor.
You may be excused, Granny. Okay, Mr. Wolf, your next witness.
For my next witness, I call Dr. Skyworth.
Dr. Wolf. Dr. Wolf, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Of course, Your Honor. Dr. Wolf, can you please state how long I have been your patient?
You have been my patient 5 years now. I remember when you first came to see me. You were a youngster that chased around chickens in a chicken coop. You were such a playful wolf.
Can you please tell the court when was the last time you saw me?
Yes, your dear Granny brought you to the office a day before her birthday. She was so excited about the birthday cake you were making. How you were sneezing and wheezing and you had a very bad cold. You blew my desk down after one of your sneezing fits. Haha.
Sorry about that, Doc. No further questions, Your Honor.
Your witness, Mrs. Mann.
Thank you for all you do, Dr. Sky.
Could you call me Mrs. Stein, please?
Okay. Of course, Dr. Wolf. You say you've been seeing Mr. Wolf for 5 years. Why have you been treating Mr. Wolf?
Objection. That doctor-patient confident.
Okay, sorry. Let me ask Dr. Wolf this. What kind of doctor are you?
I'm the best psychiatrist in all fairy tale land. I have the one and only support group for wolves now struggling with being pulled.
That's all I need. Thanks, Dr. Wolf. No further questions, Your Honor.
You may call your next witness, Mr. Wolf.
The defense rests in case, Your Honor.
Okay, let's have the closing argument. Mr. Wolf, you are first.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have been wrongfully accused of a horrific crime. I do not go around killing cute harmless creatures. I only eat what I find that is already dead. Those little pigs were no longer living. They were as dead as a doornail. Their homes were poorly built. Mr. Pig even stated the other pigs were lazy. They did not have proper inspections to test for the wind damage because of my terrible cold. As Dr. Wolf stated, I kept sneezing and huffing and puffing. That's why the straw and stick houses fell down. That is what killed the pigs, not me. I did eat them, but that is not against the law. If I didn't eat them, it wouldn't have been some other animal or woodsman to get them. Thank you for your time.
The state may now give its closing argument.
Do you really believe this wolf? It's not his first crime. He's been caught in a woman's nightgown. He bakes little cute animals into his cakes. He especially likes to add bacon to his cakes. He even goes to a support group for pig eaters. You can't tell me he finds all these animals already dead. He cannot be trusted. What other evidence do you need? Mr. Wolf is guilty.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, Alexander T. Wolf has been charged with murdering 2 pigs. The law of Fairy Tale Land states no animal may kill another animal on purpose. However, if the animal is dead, it may be eaten. The state is arguing Mr. Wolf killed the pigs on purpose. The defendant, Mr. Wolf, states that the pigs died accidentally and therefore he is allowed to eat them. If you believe that the reasonable doubt that Mr. Wolf killed the 2 pigs on purpose, you must find the defendant guilty. Beyond a reasonable doubt, that the state has proven that there were no logical explanation for the death of the 2 pigs. If you believe that the 2 pigs died accidentally, then you will find the defendant not guilty. You must agree to convict the defendant. A verdict may not be reached unless it's anonymous. No majority vote is allowed. Jurors may now leave the room and discuss the facts. You may return when you have a verdict. Members of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
Yes, Your Honor.
The defendant, Alexander T. Wolf, will rise to hear the jury's verdict.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Alexander T. Wolf, on the charge of murdering the first and second pig, is not guilty.
The court is adjourned. Thank you.